Alright, you know what time it is. If you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, if all you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it, and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, if you seem to go after the thing that you want with all your capacity, strength, and sagacity, faith, action of being the change and seeing the change, hope, confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold or poverty, famine nor gout, sickness nor pain of body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want, if dogged and grimmed you beseech and beset it, with the help of God you will get it. Decision time. To be or not to be. Turn left in your comfort zone or turn right to step outside of your comfort zone. Keep left to put your life on autopilot or keep right to be the change and see the change. Asking, what's your next smart move? Because only doing the thing is doing the thing. If you're not being the change, you're not seeing the change. In your only guaranteed day you get to live with your plans for tomorrow. Ayoma, the details is in the drama. Is this all you choose to use your only guaranteed day you get to live with your plans for tomorrow? Whether it's hot or cold, wet or dry, comfortable or uncomfortable, loud or quiet, sad or happy. Because what you put into this moment is what you get out of it. Right now, whether you're in an office somewhere or outside in a park somewhere, whether it's hot or cold, wet or dry, loud or quiet, wherever you are right now, this video is about stepping outside of your comfort zone, peaks and valleys of happiness. You see, because when you step outside of your comfort zone, you're able to mute things that doesn't support you stepping outside of your comfort zone. You see, because what's in front of you right now is immediate. But when you choose to step outside of your comfort zone, you can put things on pause that doesn't support this thought of you stepping outside of your comfort zone. Pause and think about what it's like to step outside of your comfort zone. What is it like? It's making a decision. It's understanding that you going left is you staying inside of your comfort zone, and you going right is you stepping outside of your comfort zone. You turning left is you remaining in your comfort zone, putting your life on autopilot, understanding that there are predictable things that keep people predictable, and that's being inside of their comfort zone. You taking the path to your right is you stepping outside of your comfort zone. And when you step outside of your comfort zone, you see that you're able to be the change in order to see the change. You see that you can hear with your ears and listen through your emotions. You see that your motion creates your emotions. And you're learning and applying that your action creates the reality that's in this moment. Because what you put into this moment is what you get out of it. And that's very important. Turning left keeps you inside of your comfort zone. Taking the path to your right, you're stepping outside of your comfort zone purposefully. Being the change in order to see the change. Because if you're not being the change, you're not seeing the change. If you're not being the change, you're taking the path to your left. If you're not being the change, you're not seeing the change. That is why it's important to be the change in order to see the change. And for you to be the change in order to see the change, you have to take the path to your right and step outside of your comfort zone. And what happens when you step outside of your comfort zone? You're able to have a different mindset and see that it doesn't matter what's happening with the things that's outside of your control. You can focus on the things inside of your control and understand that there are things outside of our control, such as having a boss, which most people do. They have bosses, and what do? We do what we're supposed to do at our job and understand that we can focus on what's in our control. We can focus on seeing that this is just a temporary thing that's happening to us. They may treat us invisible, turn the light off, and us working overtime and feeling though we're in the dark, repeating, we take the path to our left, continually remaining in our comfort zone, and only when we make a decision, we understand that there is a different path that we can take. Instead of being on this autopilot mode, always turning left, always taking the path to your left, always taking the path to your left, understand that there's a path to your right. And when you take the path to your right, you're able to see that there's a difference in what's inside of your control. Even though there may be piles and piles of paperwork around you, and you're at your cubicle right now, boss breathing over your shoulder and everything like that, understand that this is just a temporary moment, and this is just one moment. When you choose to make a decision, you can put things on pause. Put things on pause and say, this is in my control. And you start focusing on understanding that there are things inside of my control, and I can just put things on pause and breathe and be the change in order to see the change. Because being the change is taking the path to my right. And when I take the path to my right, I'm being the change in order to see the change. And that's very powerful, because when you're being the change in order to see the change, you're able to see that this is your personal power, that you can remain calm and relaxed, not slowing down, but calming down. And when you're calm and relaxed, you're able to see that things happen a lot differently. You're able to see that you can be in a level of self-awareness through guided meditation as you breathe and you're grateful for this moment, because we are only guaranteed today with our plans for tomorrow. And that's why it's important to look at the guarantees that we have. You're guaranteed today, and be grateful for being guaranteed today, because one way for you not to be grateful is for you to see where you are and feel as though though this is something that you have to do your entire life, be stuck in a cubicle. But the thing is, you can choose to take the path to your right, and it's a conscious decision. When you choose to take the path to your right, you're able to see different things, change the way you see things, and the things you look at differently changes. And that's why it's important to understand that our thoughts are roads, each one leading somewhere. And if you were distracted by something when I said this, I'll repeat it. Our thoughts are roads, each one leading somewhere. Our emotion creates our emotions. And when you understand that, you're able to see that, change the way you see things, and the things you look at differently changes. You're able to see that you can look at your life at a different angle and see that you don't have to think about being in a cubicle 24/7. You can look and see that things can change for you. But the thing is, in order for things to change, you've got to change. And understand that there are different paths that we can take. You can take the path to your left, stay inside of your comfort zone, or take the path to your right and step outside of your comfort zone. And when you step outside of your comfort zone, you start seeing things a lot different. You start to see that you're able to make different decisions about who you choose to be. And who you choose to be is what's going to determine what your future is going to be about. One thing that you need to focus on is focus on your guarantee today, and understand that today is guaranteed. And when you focus on today being guaranteed, you focus and see that this is your personal power to being the change in order to see the change. This is your personal power, and this is your time to see that this didn't happen by accident. The decision that you made is what brought you to this point. Whether you turned left and stayed inside of your comfort zone, or you took the path to your right and stepped outside of your comfort zone and started seeing things different and started to see that your action creates a reality. Every action creates a reality. And that's why it's important to see that there's cause and effects in our life. And when you understand and see that there's cause and effects in your life, you're able to see that you're not alone. You're able to see that you can be in an environment where people support you creating, designing, and living your dream hourly. And understand that because we are only guaranteed today, we need to focus on the power of this moment, the power of today, and understand that there are lessons that we can learn every day. There are lessons that we can choose to be a part of and apply, because the most powerful thing you can do is learning and applying a lesson immediately, and understanding that what stops a lot of people is fear. The only time things change, because, well, this may be the first time that you're taking a path to your right and stepping outside of your comfort zone. The only time things change is when you face up to your fear and punch fear in the face. If you haven't punched fear in the face today, go ahead and do that, because fear is what's keeping you where you are right now. Fear is telling you, what are you doing? You need to take the path to your left. You always take the path to your left when you need to take the path to your right and step outside of your comfort zone. Don't listen to fear. Punch fear in the face and understand and say, no, I'm not listening to you. I'm not taking the path to my left. I'm taking the path to my right, because I am choosing to step outside of my comfort zone. And that's why I'm punching you in the fear face. I'm punching you in the face because I understand how important it is to step outside of my comfort zone. And this is how I'm punching you in the face, taking all out massive action, because I understand the importance of stepping outside of my comfort zone. That's where growth happens. That's where improvement happens, because when I'm doing better is when I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone. And it's important for me to keep doing what's working. If I'm not being the change, I'm not seeing the change. That's why I'm punching you in the face right now. That's why I'm taking all out massive action. That's why I'm being the change in order to see the change, because it's the only way for me to keep moving forward. It's the only way for me to achieve the reality that I want to achieve outside of the cubicle life. I understand how important it is to have a job, but I understand how important it is to have a dream and turn that dream into a reality, and have a support system that helps me to step outside of the dark into the light. Understand that it's going to take time, but as long as I'm willing to do the work, and as long as I've made a decision to take the path to my right, I believe that things are going to start turning around for me. That's why I'm going to keep punching fear in the face through all out massive action, because through all out massive action, things change. Because in order for things to change, I've got to change. And that's why I understand that it's important for me to be the change in order to see the change. Because if you're not being the change, you're not seeing the change. And that's why it's important to have a powerful philosophy such as, I am only guaranteed today to live with my plans for tomorrow. And that's why this channel is called Guaranteed Today, because we are only guaranteed today to live with our plans for tomorrow. And that's why it's important to even ask this question. When you've made a decision to live this guaranteed day with your plans for tomorrow, ask yourself, is this how I choose to use my only guaranteed day I get to live with my plans for tomorrow? Is this how I choose to use my only guaranteed day I get to live with my plans for tomorrow? Because I am only guaranteed today to live with my plans for tomorrow. And ask this question, what's my next smart move? Is this how I choose to use my only guaranteed day I get to live with my plans for tomorrow? Because what I put into this moment is what I get out of it. What I put into this moment is what I get out of it. And that's why I'm taking Ayoma all out massive action, punching fear in the face whenever I need to, because I understand that fear approaches on every angle, down, upward, below me, above me. Fear operates and tries to push me on the path to the left, the path of predictability, keep me in my comfort zone when I want to step outside of my comfort zone, when I understand that it's up to me to take the path to my right and be the change in order to see the change. That is the power of stepping outside of your comfort zone, purposefully, because change the way you see things, and the things you look at differently change. Your motion creates your emotion. When I take ownership of this moment, I can say, my motion creates my emotions. I am being the change in order to see the change, because if I'm not being the change, I'm not seeing the change. What I put into this moment is what I get out of it, because what I'm keeping in front of me is what I keep getting more of. That's the power of stepping outside of my comfort zone, peaks and valleys of happiness. Being the change in order to see the change. Being calm and relaxed. Calming down, but not slowing down. Change the way I see things, and the things I look at differently changes. In our own and guaranteed day, we get to live with our plans for tomorrow. Guaranteed.